All right, guys, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Sorry about this being late. Overslept. I was so exhausted, I got up around 11 o'clock, which I normally don't do. I'm normally up by 7, 6:30, 7 o'clock. So when I woke up, I thought I was dead. I was like, what the fuck, man? But anyway, it is what it is. So, today we're going to talk more about this migrant crime wave that's going on. I was supposed to release 2 videos earlier today as well. That's not going to happen. I'll be releasing them tomorrow, same time, 11:15. Again, this whole day was screwed up because I overslept, which I normally don't do. Jeep Girl, Glock, thank you for the 5x5. David, thank you for the 6x6. 1 minute to go, 30 seconds. Till live. All right. Big Stick, thank you for the 5x5.
Did Harvard University...
All right. Oh, Mark, no, I'm not coming down this weekend. I won't be able to. When I was free, I probably should have went down to West Virginia a little more. But now that I'm working, I seem to be working every fucking weekend. So, and I'm working every weekend because it's overtime. Anyway, Jim, Mr. Landfill, Jonathan, thank you for the 5x5. I appreciate it. This is good. All right, that's the wrong one. So anyway, let's get on with it. I'm not getting a sinus cold again. I do sound stuffy, but I feel good. And I'm breathing fine, but I don't know why I feel stuffy. But anyway, let's get on with the bullshit. And Rhonda said you could barely keep your eyes open last night. Yeah, I didn't know it was that obvious. But yeah, I was fucking, oof. I was toast, man. I was toast. Again, the going back from, not working at all, being retired, and then going back full steam ahead. This shit don't work at 40-something years old. So I should have eased back into it, but whatever. I'm adjusted now. I just also can't work a week straight, no sleep. Though I'm surprised I held on that long. So, let's get on with the show. We're going to make this probably about 15, maybe 20 minutes. I'm not going to try to extend it an hour. But anyway, Biden's broken border has migrant criminal gangs raging in New York. Now, before I get into the article, based on what happened, even before the cop incident, the police incident where the illegal immigrants were beating up the 2 cops, there was a crime wave going on, right? And they were doing a lot of shit like, the mopeds, stealing, grabbing shit out of people's hands, going into stores and stealing. They were doing that, and the media wasn't reporting it, and they weren't reporting it as much. But now that they are getting more brazen, and like I said, the crimes are getting worse, now media outlets are paying attention. Before they weren't. And I guess that was because they were trying to keep it under wraps. Whatever. Okay. What the hell's going on here? Sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Just noticed something wasn't working out well. There it is. That makes more sense. All right. You were definitely a little cranky. All right. Appreciate it. Sinus infections going around again. Yeah, you know what? I don't get sinus infections. I don't recall ever having one. Even with all, and I don't get sick often either, though lately, being that I had a cough back in, what was it, December? And then coming back from Vegas, had that shitty cough again. Then it went away and came back. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I've been taking vitamins and eating healthier for whatever reason. I'm just getting these minor bullshits. But I never had a sinus infection. So anyway, guys, sorry. The illegal immigrants here now are causing a problem. And I suspect they're causing a problem in other cities as well. But I haven't read anything on it. To be fair, I haven't looked it up either. So they could be causing problems all over America. I know that they are causing problems by the border, clearly. I know that there's a homeless situation with them in California, and there's a homeless situation with them here. A few months ago, there were a bunch of illegal immigrants living under one of the bridges here in New York City. So again, guys, that's only going to get worse because there's nowhere to put any of these people, especially here in New York. There's nowhere to put them. There's no housing facility, and a lot of people are, now turning their backs against or towards Eric Adams because they wanted them here too, but now they're like, whoa, we don't know where to put these people. And you can't jump the line of the citizens, American citizens, that are waiting for room and places to sleep. So that's not going to work. And I think if they do, all hell's going to break loose. That's a different story. Critics warned that Biden let them all in border policy would pave the way for criminals to flood the nation. And a lot of people have warned Eric Adams about this. They're like, if you let these people in, you keep letting them in open arms, you're going to bring the criminal element right behind it. And of course, the criminal element showed up right after he let them in. After Eric Adams, that is, said, hey, we'll take them all in. As soon as he let them in, the criminal element was right behind it. The criminal element, guys, they pay attention to opportunities. And New York City is possibly one of the biggest opportunity places on the planet. You can go here and steal, or you can come here and be a lawyer, right? So that's a wide range of opportunities. And a lot of these people are coming here for that, to steal and shit. The migrants, that is. Sorry. A new mini crime wave is adding to all the other migrant problems. A moped riding gang made up of recent migrants had been preying on the public since November. Let's go back a little further than that. It was more like the late summer, early fall. As cops says, responsible for at least 60 to possibly as many as 150 crimes. The thugs swiped cell phone, grabbing info to hack into financial accounts. They've stolen hundreds of thousands in electronics. One gang member this week dragged a 62-year-old woman down the street from his moped as he made off with her purse. The cop nabbed two of the group member who were fingered. 33-year-old migrants, Victor, whatever, and was the ringleader of the whole thing. Now, there's a video of that guy not grabbing her purse, but you see the moped coming around the corner as he's riding on the sidewalk, like I said they do here. He rode on the sidewalk, and the lady fucking smacks dead into a bike stand. So that, you can see that video on Instagram or Twitter. The two were charged with grand larceny for stealing a moped, resisting arrest, stolen property offenses. At least one more was expected to be arraigned Tuesday. One more perp, that is. New York's consequence-free criminal justice system, that's the no bail system, makes problems even worse. Pereira was freed by the judge in December after being hauled in for grand larceny, police sources say. At least 6 others in the ring also got sprung without bail despite grand larceny charges. Now, when they were talking about this no bail shit a couple of years ago, grand larceny was one of those things that you couldn't get out from. Grand larceny, murder, rape, things like that, you weren't be able to set free. But the judges here in New York City, they do have They do have the power to set bail for anything, including murder. But murder, grand larceny, rape, and there was a couple of others that if they committed those crimes, they were to be held without bail. A lot of judges have been turning that around, as we are seeing here in New York City, where even if there's a grand larceny charge attached to that offense, they're letting them go. Let's see, where were we? 2 others, stolen mopeds, at least. All right. Other gangs focus on shoplifting, drug dealing, and more. What more could there be? Car thefts, carjacking, breaking into cars as well, stealing whatever's inside the car. Pushing robberies. I haven't heard migrants doing that, though. Pushing robberies were up from the whole George Floyd incident. I haven't heard any migrants pushing into homes yet. You gotta wait and see. Don't forget the asylum seekers, pimp, and prostitution. That's been a thing from what I heard. in certain places around the city. I think one of them being by Floyd Bennett Field out in Queens, Brooklyn, Queens. I can't remember where it is. I think it's Brooklyn. But anyway, so they've been doing that. They're also panhandling out there as well, going to neighboring homes. So Floyd Bennett Field it has a large facility out there where migrants are staying there, and the migrants are going out during the day and panhandling from home to home. I thought, again, and this is my not conspiracy theory mind, but I thought, because I'm a little on the ball, I thought these people were going from home to home to assess who was home and who wasn't. And then they would send in somebody to break into that home. Once they knocked on the door, figured out nobody was there, they would go in and start, stealing shit. But that hasn't happened, or at least I haven't heard that happening. So, New York's District Attorney Alvin Bragg lets migrants linked to the cop attack walk bail-free, and 6 more hightailed it out of the state. So Alvin Bragg is the piece of shit Manhattan District Attorney. He's letting them all go. Discretion. No, not discretion. It was another word I was using. I can't think of it right now. Sorry. But anyway, Alvin Bragg is letting everyone go, apparently. And I don't know what his ideology is. All I know is Alvin Bragg needs both knees beaten in with a baseball bat at some point. Because this guy is destroying the city. And he's doing it on purpose. Imagine 2 cops getting beat up, and you turn around and go, you know what, Your Honor, the beatings weren't that bad. We should just let them go. They're migrants anyway. They're here for a better life. And who knows what really happened between them and the cops. And there's a whole video that goes along with that, by the way. But anyway, Alvin Bragg has been letting people go. Not even just the illegal immigrants. He's letting them all go. All of them. And it doesn't matter what crime you commit, he's letting you go. So it's enough already. Bad enough New York's insanely generous treatment attracts those illegal immigrants here. Worse is the soft on crime approach that attracts criminal ones. Again, these people are paying attention to what's going on. They're looking at the news, guys. Criminals look at the news and go, we can start a crime wave in New York City because they're soft on crime. And after those 2 cops got beat up and those guys were let go, more criminal element from these illegal immigrants are going to end up here in New York. That's just how it is. Now, talking about Floyd Bennett Field, fear and loathing at Brooklyn's Floyd Bennett Field, neighbors fuming over illegal immigrants' lawlessness. This is another article out of the Post. It's been a rude awakening for the bedroom communities near Brooklyn Floyd Bennett Field ever since nearly 2,000 migrants were moved there. That was late last year, sorry. Since mid-November, new lawlessness has plagued the area with shoplifting, panhandling, again going door to door, gutter scams, and according to some, signs of street prostitution. I did see a couple pictures of what looked like fucking Maria and fucking Consuela on the street corners with their mini dresses and high heels. And the once Syrian federal-run site, a historic farmer field off Flatbush Ave near the Marine Parkway Bridge, has itself become an eyesore with vicious brawls and pot puffing. I don't know what pot. Okay, just say smoking marijuana are common and in the area. According to one person, a 20-year veteran police officer, the shit is out of control, as he put it, when asked about the migrants at Floyd Bennett Field. A fraction of the 164,000 illegal immigrants crossing the border being bused to New York City since spring of 2022, and 68,000 currently in New York City's care. 68,000. Jesus, that's a lot. That's all these people do is rob and steal. They should feel lucky that they're here, but they're out there committing crimes. We don't know anything about them. We don't know what they've done in their other countries. And this came from, I think, the same police officer, a 20-year vet who probably doesn't give a shit because he's about to retire. So he's telling them to go fuck themselves, and he's being honest. Scamming and brawling. Now, I hate that this will sound like a racial comment, but I don't care. But I noticed that with Mexicans or South and Central Americans, when they get together to play volleyball or soccer, especially when they do their weekly meetings of this, they're always fighting and brawling. Always. Sort of like when Negroes go to clubs and they're always shooting and stabbing each other at the end of the club night. It's the same thing with the migrants, the illegal immigrants. Sorry, they do the same shit with their stupid soccer shit over by where my ex-wife lives, and not soccer, volleyball. They play volleyball over by where she lives, and then they have soccer over here by, I forgot the name of the park, Cloisters, over here. Every week during the summer months, that is, or as soon as it gets warm, they're over there, and they're always brawling, fighting, stabbing each other, the whole 9 yards. And yet they meet every week as if nothing happened week prior. Crazy. Anyway, along Flatbush Ave and other bustling thoroughfares near King Plaza, some migrants, illegal immigrants, are trying to clean up by playing dirty in traffic. They are jumping in front of cars. That's another thing I forgot to mention. They're jumping in front of cars, and they'll see a car coming down a block, and they'll jump in front of it. And if you stop before you hit them, they lean on the hood of the car to act like they were hit. Yeah, man. That's a nice scam. The scam, they said, plays out this way. Someone runs in the traffic when it is slow for a red light, bump into the side of a moving vehicle, and pretend to get hurt and try to extort $500 in hush money from the driver. I will fucking wholeheartedly run them over without batting an eyelash and tell the police I thought it was a speed bump from Mexico. Because we're not playing this game. Purposeful Prepper, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. They are scaring people, saying, you just hit me and I'm going to report it. And if you don't give me money, you're going to go to jail. And this is from a retired police officer that lives in Bergen Beach, whatever. Sal Callis, president of Bergen Beach Civic Association, said he nearly was a victim of this scheme while driving on January 6th along Avenue T and Flatbush Ave. Again, that's a new. I mean, listen, that's not a new scam per se. People have been doing this scam for years. You know, like they're walking down the street and somebody just, you stop. You stop at the light, and then they bump into your car, and then they go, oh, you hit me. The Hasidic Jews in Brooklyn, they play that bullshit a lot. But it's the opposite. Out there, they'll rear-end you by mistake, get out and say, oh, did you just back into me? And they play that bullshit out there pretty hard. So it's the scammer's delight, if you will, playing the bullshit. And that's how they get out of accidents. But instead, you just threaten one of those Hasids out there. Be like, listen, fucko, if you don't cut your shit, I'm going to wrap your fucking, your around your neck if you don't cut the fucking bullshit. And normally, if you come out strong, they leave you alone. But if you start playing the weak card and they sense weakness, then the rest of the community jumps in. And they go, no, we saw you back into him. Meanwhile, you were at full stop. In some cases, even park. And they still try to sit there and say you rear-ended them by backing into them. It's a nice fucking Hasidic Jew scam that they got going on out there to get out of an accident that they caused. They've done this numerous times. It's EMS, and I haven't been out there as a firefighter, but I've been out there as an EMT. Numerous times they played that bullshit. And now the illegal immigrants are playing the same shit, except for they're jumping on the hood of your car saying you hit them. Whatever. So this just happened earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, but I'm just now seeing this. U.S. military helicopter carrying 5 Marines on a California-bound flight goes missing, and now search is underway. First responders have launched a search mission after a U.S. military helicopter carrying 5 Marines went missing on a flight from Nevada to California Tuesday. That was yesterday. The Marines said that they were in contact with the San Diego County Sheriff's Office and are coordinating search efforts. The CH-53E Super Stallion helicopter departed Creek Air Force Base in Nevada en route to Marine Corps Air Station in Miramar near San Diego Tuesday night. The United States Marine Corps is searching for 5 Marines assigned to the Marine Heavy Helicopter Squadron 361, Marine Aircraft Group 16, 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. The Marine Corps Air Station Miramar confirmed on Tuesday night. The Marines were flying the CH-53E Super Stallion from Cree Air Force Base to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar on February 6, 2024, when the aircraft was reported overdue. San Diego Sheriff's Office attempted to send helicopters to begin search immediately, but the aircraft were called off because of the atmosphere river, that storm that they got going on out there. So that's complicating searches right now. And obviously there will be more updates when they are found or they're not found. Now, if they are still missing at this point, there's one theory that they could have landed somewhere trying to wait out the storm, or they crashed over somewhere, and they'll be finding them within the next couple of days. That storm is still lingering over there, by the way, because the storm actually parked itself and it's not moving that fast. It's at a snail's pace. They won't be able to find them till that storm is over. So there goes that. And that's pretty much it. All right, so let me go over this. I don't like reading about Mr. 19 bullshit, but 1 in 4 Mr. 19 patients develop long COVID symptoms. Now, they are starting to do more of these research on long COVID symptoms, and I don't think they're long COVID, guys. I think they are reactions to the arm ticket. They're trying to blame long COVID, though. Whatever. About 1 in 4 Mr. 19 patients develop long COVID. So while most people who test positive for Mr. 19 are over their symptoms within a week or two, more research is showing that some people continue to report symptoms even develop new ones 3 months after their initial positive test, lasting months, if not even years. A new study released by Help Advisor analyzed data from the U.S. Census Bureau Household Plus Survey, that's a pulse survey, that's a mouthful, to find the rates of American adults developing long COVID. Research showed that 24.4% of American adults who received a positive Mr. 19 test have experienced symptoms that persist longer than 3 months. 27 states reported rates higher than the national average. In Oklahoma, for example, 34% of those who had Mr. 19 reported having long COVID symptoms, largest percentage of any states. Those in Vermont and Washington, D.C. reported the lowest rates of 16.5. Those are the states, the two states too, that have a high rate of arm tickets. So look where this is going. Look where they're trying to point this direction into. Those two states have the higher Mr. 19 rates, arm ticket rates, and they're going to go with that. So just be careful of the bullshit. Be careful of stepping in the bullshit because it's there. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. I think I ran over a little longer than I wanted to. Not the end of the world. I was going to talk about the 70 NYCHA employees that were accused of taking bribes in a federal corruption probe. I'm going to talk about it because now I'm starting to think about it. They have 70 NYCHA employees. NYCHA employees are New York City Housing Authority employees. And they've been taking bribes. Who knows why? I'm going to read the article real quick. As many as 70 New York City Housing Authority employees were arrested and officially charged after appearing in court following a federal corruption investigation. The workers were all released on bail set at $25,000 to $50,000. They took bribes. They didn't rob anybody. They didn't beat up a cop. They didn't punch anybody in the face. They didn't drag an old lady down the block. And for some reason, they have bail set. And I guess because it's a federal charge. That's probably why. But understand that I know that there's a huge difference between federal charges and regular city charges, but they're setting bail on people who are not going to skip town. Anyway, and that's what bail is mainly for, so that you don't skip town, so that you come back and get that $50,000 or less of $50,000, whatever it is. Okay, fuckers. U.S. Attorney Damon Williams announced the largest single-day bribery takedown Tuesday in the history of the department. Politicians are also getting bribed every day of the week, and these fucking poor saps are getting charged. And I can guarantee you the bribery was bullshit, was small, was nothing. The allegation conducted, the alleged conduct started in 2013 and ran for 2023, 10 years. The defendants have been charged with allegedly accepting cash payments from contractors in exchange for awarding NYCHA contracts. The dozens of current and former employees, former, NYCHA demanded $2 million in bribe money from contractors in exchange for giving more than $13 million in work at the NYCHA facilities, buildings. Officials said some of the cash payments would be $500, somewhere in that range. But of course, it added up given the span here of, In addition, sometimes the cash payments would be $500 or somewhere in that range. But of course, it added up given the span of the conduct. And here to about $2 million in bribe, holy shit, that were paid overall. That's a lot. And still not as bad as beating somebody up, dragging them through the street, beating cops up, stealing shit, and breaking in the cars. But I get it. It's federal charges. Officials announced that superintendents accepting and extorting bribes from contractors had become a business as usual. Now, I'm putting this out there because no one's watching this or listening, but there is a bribery thing that goes on in the city. And every day there's a bribe in the city. I don't know why this is taking top billing per se, but if you have a construction site here in the city and you're the elevator operator is often bribing people to go up and down, right? So if we, for example, if I have to move furniture into this building while this building's being worked on, the elevator operator, I have to grease his palms with, let's just say, $200-300 for the day. And this is every day. And there's different people or different companies in that building working to some capacity. So this guy's making out like $1,000-2,000 a day getting greased so that we can get furniture or whatever it is upstairs. Whether that's piping material, construction material, furniture, this guy's getting his palm greased. And this is going on every day. Meanwhile, the feds had a 10-year sting on these saps, and this is where they're going. And this guy is the U.S. Attorney Damon Williams is feeling proud about himself. There are harder things going on. They should be better. The federal tax-paying dollars should be used as something better than 70 guys taking a bribe from contractors to work in NYCHA buildings. Officials announced that superintendents accepting and extorting bribes for contractors have become business as usual, occurring in almost 100 NYCHA buildings across all 5 boroughs, nearly a third of all NYCHA buildings. It is what it is. But this is where this guy wants to fucking rest his hat on, this bullshit case. This goes on all day, every day, and somehow this is where he wants to hang his hat. He wants to make his stand with this bullshit. There are heavier federal crimes going on. There are drug cases that need to be explored. But instead, this is where they look at. 70 people making chump change. Because that's essentially what it is. There are politicians taking in way more money and being bribed on a daily basis, and this is where this guy draws a line. Oh my God, we have to go after the NYCHA employees, not the politicians who are dabbling in the stock market, who are taking bribes from X, Y, and Z. Let's go after these idiots to make myself look better. Anyway, that being said, guys, that's enough. I'm gonna go off the air right now. I really need to get glasses. I mean, like, this is getting harder. I don't want to. I'm hanging in there, but this is starting to become a problem. When I'm reading like a 5-year-old child, I'm gonna have to start looking in the glasses. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. I will see you guys Thursday night. Thursday night, I will see you guys for the doubleheader. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later this week.